Raj, congrats on your new office.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. It's a big day for us. Thank you.
I think everyone's having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can see that. A lot of noise as it's meant to be. New office in Coimbatore, launch day today. So it's been quite an interesting experience for us. Um, it's a new beginning. Coimbatore has always been idea for us very in the beginning, but now it has come to fruition. We try to build this a place which was meant for collaboration, what hybrid work needs to be in the future. A place where you come because you're inspired by the place where you can come in and participate in your activities, not just sit at a desk and just be, working on one thing, but really accomplish what you want to do by a variety of spaces, types of spaces, starting with a more social space like this, which allows people to kind of feel relaxed, probably be a bit noisy because that's what we do when we gather, we're a bit noisy.
Do you guys like the office?
There you go.
Everyone loves the office.
There you go. So this is it. I think the idea is to kind of make it a place for people, make it welcome for people to come in, inspire them with some thoughts and ideas that opens up the imagination. And as we go in, you'll see it goes from very noisy to very quiet. But this is a social place. What we then did here was also to try to put a space for innovation and for research on our manufacturing. This is a space.
You call it a factory?
You can call it a factory, but
I've seen offices within factories, but this is the first time I've seen a factory inside an office.
Indeed, yes. So this is pretty much how we started as Freespace, because we started in a place which is just a room where we started small assembly, light assembly, if you may, and this will become the place where we would think about how to value engineer our solutions for different markets, including India. And as you come into the office, you have different settings. So here we have, for example, a training room equipped with modern AV facilities, but also place for people to sit and do a formal classroom style education. And then on the other side, you have here booths which are double for rooms, basically. Many a times when you want to meet, you don't need a full meeting room. This a booth acts as a meeting room when you don't have a meeting room available. So yeah.
Right, so this is like a semi-quiet zone. People who come in to meet somebody,
that's right.
They can just sit here.
They can just jump in from there, and they can have a space where they can meet up with their people without having to take them all the way into the main office environment. And that also gives them a feel of being in the office, but not being all the way into the office.
Sounds like a bit of fun as well.
Yeah. You have to have that. Otherwise, why would people come back to the office?
Yeah.
So here is a typical like a desk for a stand-up activity that might be done, maybe by different teams during the day. People would come here, plan their day's work, and then get on with doing the work. And these are called scrum tables. Yeah.
Okay. So you'll have a TV on the.
Yeah, we'll eventually put a TV out there. It could be interactive. It could be something that will also have a video camera, possibly, which will bring the Mumbai Scrum teams or the London Scrum teams, when that happens all together into one area.
So this, in a way, actually kind of defines what Freespace is all about.
It embodies thinking that the more spaces you see the flexibility of the different environments that we offer. But more importantly, the design has to be in such a way that it gets used, and the technology that sits behind this kind of spaces is what we provide, and we enable such spaces to come to life, basically.
Yes. Yeah.
And meeting rooms like this, so we try to use the space effectively. We try to kind of build rooms to this was a kind of longish kind of space, so we had to decide how to organize the location of the rooms and the location of the collaboration spaces. A white wall for people to collaborate. All the usual trappings that you would find in any modern office will be here.
A lot of greenery all over.
Yeah, we try to incorporate greenness in this, and we just had a little session out here. You can see stuff lying around, but this is again a collaboration space. It can easily accommodate possibly about 16, 17 people that can sit around, maybe even 20 people, and brainstorm a product, a whiteboard that allows you to write and kind of put your ideas out there. And within the office, you can just have this feeling of almost like a little huddle space, if you may, for having a conversation.
This must be one of the most popular places in the office.
It is. People love to come and sit here and chat and kind of get their discussions going. Or on this side jump into a little phone booth if you want to have a quick call. And the way we've done this is that when these phone booths gets occupied, our sensors detect the presence and they indicate that in the digital signage showing that the phone booth is occupied. So somebody, imagine a larger space where you might have these kind of phone booths peppered around the whole office. You might be able to know exactly from one location which phone booth is available. And that's what the Freespace technology does.
Right.
As we move in, you move into more quieter spaces. So here it's more individual workstations for people to put their head down, or just jump into a two-person office, which might be something that you want to do to have a quick conversation. And then you can't see it now, but as you go towards the interior of the office, you can also see it's closer to the natural light areas where we have provided a lot of greenery as well as the natural light coming in. And we also monitor air quality. So this is, for example, showing the air quality of the space. There has been a lot of people that have been here, so the CO2 levels is way up, as you can see. You can see the trends of what has been happening during the day, how the CO2 has changed, how the temperature has changed. You can see how the humidity has changed, for example. So monitoring of all this is done using sensors like the one you see on the wall there. That's what the Freespace device is.
What do you call that sensor?
The PAM sensor, the pure air module.
Okay.
And the pure air is being provided by our air inlets, external air inlets, but also by kind of monitoring it across various kind of locations. Huddle spaces, quiet spaces where our HR teams might be sitting and using that space for, isolated from the rest of the teams when needed. And individual kind of protected or enclosed kind of workstations as well as open workstations.
All this greenery that you have on the wall, is there something you can do with your technology as well to control the flow of water?
So yeah, we've installed watering systems which can be controlled and we can regulate that. I think what we will be doing more with our sensors is taking inputs on the finer aspects of the control. What kind of plants would need what kind of watering. Learning of that's what we are hoping to do, where learning of what survives and how they survive, and then putting that intelligence into the sensors themselves so that they can kind of provide much easier management of green spaces. That is part of our agenda as well.
Stuff like moisture control, moisture sensor in the soil itself.
In soil moisture control we can do, but for this kind of indoor planting, it's fairly regulated, so you can easily do that. That's not a big deal at all. But I think it's more in terms of the species of the plants and what kind of watering. You have different watering sequences for different species and things like that. That is something that our sensors can learn over time. That's what we're hoping that we'll be able to achieve.
Okay, interesting. There's a lot of machine learning out there.
Absolutely, yes, indeed. And then finally here, you can't see it's dark outside right now, but this is the space for quieter reflection, for sitting down and having quite kind of individual working. We try to incorporate a lot of these little features that you can see.
What is this?
This is actually where we put our non-working people. No, I'm just joking. This is just a piece of reclaimed history that we try to protect, and this is there all around the office, peppered. Just helps with some breaking up the subject here of working all the time, but just having a bit of fun, but also a place for restoring history, restoring local works of art. You can see that in the mural that was there in the collaboration space. You can see it in this chair, for example.
I think a lot of people do not associate the word restoring with sustainability. They feel it's all about plants.
Yeah.
You've actually done all of that.
Yeah, I think this is a message about more about know your past, know your history, because you're building your future. If you don't know your history, you can't build your future, and that's what this is all about. There's a subtle message behind it that the chair you're sitting on, somebody has designed, and you're using that chair to design something in the future. So there's a subtle poetry around it, and that's what we want to bring out here. We found this unique piece. It was quite damaged. It was all broken up, but you can see this does make you think.
It does.
Life can be
left to right.
In different ways. You don't need to be a straight chair, isn't it? At the same time, it's beautiful. It's artistic. It's a piece of art. So I think that's what we're all about. We want to inspire people to think differently, and we are trying to do that with the space and with the environment. I think that's what Freespace is all about.
Congrats, Raj. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Partha. Yeah.